Water and Sewer Utility Committee meeting of Monday, October the 27th, 2025. We're here at the Parkdale Room and the order of business. I'll call the meeting to order. We have some members of 830 Water and Sewer here. We'll welcome to our meeting. Can I have number 2, the approval of the agenda? Approved by Councilor Matart, second by Councilor McAleer. Any declarations of conflict of interest? Okay, we're down to number 4, adoption of the previous draft minutes of August 27th, 2025. Moved by Mayor Brown, second by Councilor Matart. And any business arising from those minutes? Seeing none, we'll go into the discussions and reports and the grit dewatering screw replacement. I'll ask our manager to speak on that, please.
Thank you, Councillor Durand. So I'll go through the report details here, and then if there's any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer them. So again, this is our grit dewatering screw replacement for the wastewater treatment plant. The purpose here is we are seeking to move this forward to council for approval to sole source a replacement grit dewatering screw for the wastewater treatment plant. That's our recommendation as well as we move this forward for approval. So in the details here, the Charlottetown wastewater treatment plant uses a John Munier grit removal system. This system is a pre-treatment process which removes grit or abrasives prior to entering the biological treatment stream. Grit increases wear on mechanical parts and reduces available treatment volumes when deposits accumulate within the biological system. So we try to capture that before it enters the full facility. The grit removal system has 4 main processes. So there's grit capture, grit extraction, grit concentration, and grit washing and dewatering. Each process feeds into the next and is designed holistically as a system. The main system components are a grit chamber, an airlift system, an air separator, and a dewatering screw, with each component being integrated into a proprietary control system. So the utility is seeking to replace the dewatering screw. The existing component is a SAM type grit dewatering screw. The existing dewatering screw has been in service for approximately 20 years and has been overhauled and rebuilt and repaired several times to extend its usable life. Due to the nature of the grit removal process, this component experiences high wear and has reached the point that repair is no longer an appropriate option. So the utility is seeking to sole source a like-for-like replacement, as the grit removal system is built integral to the building itself, as well as other downstream processes, which would require significant modifications in order to accommodate a different model. The utility has received a quote from Veolia, which is previously known as John Munier, for a replacement SAM-type grit dewatering screw. And this quote was received at $119,650 plus applicable taxes.
Thank you, Josh. Any questions? Councilor Matart?
To the chair. So I guess sole sourcing would give the impression that there isn't a competitive market out there. So is that the case in this? Is that it is very specific piece of hardware that this particular Viola would be the only one to be able to provide that?
Absolutely. So through the chair to Councilor Matart, it is there would be other systems available, but each component is built. This would be one of 4 components that kind of work as a unit or as a system. So in order to accommodate a new brand or a new model, it would require upstream and downstream modifications, so it would increase the cost substantially. So it is built integral to the building. The chambers are actually formed concrete in the main building. So that's where the process starts, and then that feeds into another piece of equipment which feeds into this dewatering screw. And then the grit is actually put up through that conveyor and then exported into the other side of the building. So there's a substantial amount of work that would have to be done. So this would be the I guess, most reasonable way of achieving that replacement.
Mr. Mayor Brown?
Josh, I think Richard, this might have went in when we did the upgrade from primary to secondary treatment back in 2004, 2005. So the company that won the bid at that time was, of course, said company, right?
Yep.
And as you said, they built a system to incorporate into the whole wastewater treatment process. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. I'll move it.
Moved by Mayor Brown, second by Councilor Matern. All right, thank you for that. We'll move down to number 2, the value for money audit.
Thank you, Chair. So this is primarily our communications project. This is a value for money audit. We had gone out for a request for proposals. Purpose of this report here today is to present the results of that RFP to committee, and currently our recommendation is that committee moves forward to council and accepts the proposal submitted by Eagle Engineering and Consulting to complete a value for money audit of the communications project for the amount of $76,475 plus applicable tax. The report details here, I'll go over briefly, is the water and sewer utility had issued an RFP, request for proposals, seeking a proponent to complete a value for money audit of the communications project, which is our Miltonville Wellfield Development Phase 3B. The utility had received one proposal in the amount of $76,475 plus applicable tax. This proposal was submitted by Eagle Engineering and Consulting, and the proposal does meet the specifications of the RFP.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Any questions on that? We'll go to,
So to the chair, I know that we've been talking about this particular request for proposal moving forward. Probably looking close north of $100,000 after taxes. It doesn't indicate here where we plan on funding that through. Then secondly, were we anticipating this type of cost associated with this value for audit report? I know Mayor Brown, you've been very vocal about having this done and for some good and obvious reasons. And now that we have it in front of us, and we know it's upwards to $100,000. Are we gonna get a return on that investment to help us make a decision on whether or not we close this project out? I think it's worth a discussion, price tag at the very least.
sure.
It's not really a question, more of a statement, I guess, but.
Well, yeah, it's been a long road, and I know, the committee and the mayor, we've been asking questions, we just can't seem to get it over the finish line here. So, in the last couple of months, we've decided to, what's it gonna take? Maybe, we have to do this to make sure that it's worth exactly what we think it's worth. And, to cross all our i's and t's, I think, because of the unknown. We can't seem to get an answer, right? And we can't seem to get over the finish line. So I don't know if anybody else wants to jump in and get into the discussion of what we should do or should not do. Mayor Brown, have you?
Mr. Chair, we went to tender last year on this. And we had a resolution that went to council and it was deferred. And I think last year's price, do you have last year's price? I think it was 67,000.
Not on me, but this year's price is borne.
Yeah, so we waited a year.
No, I mean.
And it could have
I
been
get
done
that,
last year.
yeah.
But under this, on the tax side of it, there's a 10% refund through the municipal capital expenditures grant. So that 10% is what we apply for, correct? Is that correct? Because it is a capital expenditure.
We can verify that, yeah.
And then the 5% GST is also returned to the buyer, in this case, City of Charlottetown. So that additional money that we're talking about will be returned through those two avenues. Correct or incorrect? Because I believe this falls under the municipal capital
5%
expenditure.
is, I think we'd have to get back to you on the clarification of whether it will fall under the,
Municipal capital
yeah.
expenditures grant, and what about GST?
GST would be.
Yeah, GST is refundable. Now, if we were a private enterprise, we'd have an input tax credit of 15%. But because we're a public body, we have to go through the municipal capital expenditures grant. And Mr. Chair, on this issue, I didn't know this until our CAO told me. I was up to Stratford, Ontario for the annual Communities in Bloom conference, and in Stratford, Ontario, the municipality owns, operates, maintains their own fiber network. So I've been trying to get a hold of Mayor Martin Ritsu to find out who could I speak to, and I'll hopefully get that back to us as soon as possible. But this audit, money for audit, is just to say what we have in the ground, what we expended thus far, are we getting fair value for what we expend? That's all it is, and I think it's worth it.
Like I say, we talked about it last year, sorry, only because I
No problem.
sorry.
Go right ahead.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, and I guess we did have that, I didn't remember that we actually went as far as the RFP and price last year, so right in saying that we did have that, we're slightly higher. And again, I'm supportive of us getting to the finish line here, and if this is what we're gonna do. So just my only question I did ask probably in that was, how are we going to fund that through, is that through operational? Or is that part of that capital project?
That's a capital expenditure. That's my understanding.
So we still have funds for them?
Is it Richard or Josh? Sorry, Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
just wanted to find out.
Yep, we'll,
It's not an operational expenditure.
so through the chair to Mayor Brown, we will verify the appropriate location for that, and then we can report that back.
And if I could just add, Mr. Chair, Councillor Duran has been here since 2019, this All-Star. It was under the capital expenditures. It was not under operational. Remember we pointed it out?
Sure.
Communications.
Right, thank you.
Councillor McAleer.
Yeah, thank you. Just, I guess, just a clarification question on the audit and perhaps then a comment. So my question is just roughly, go back, we award this tender, get in touch, let them know they're the success, whatever. How quick are we expecting the execution of the work, and any kind of a timeline, what that might look like?
Absolutely. So through the chair to Councillor McAleer, I do believe it was this fiscal turnaround. I'd have to confirm the dates, but I do anticipate a quick turnaround, as long as they're still available once we do award, which they should be. It should be a fairly quick turnaround. We should see progress almost immediately upon award.
So, a couple of months,
Yep.
quarter?
Yep, I do believe within the first quarter, absolutely, yep, 3 to 4 months we should see.
Time of year doesn't have a bearing on.
It could slow them down if we have an early winter, like if we start to get snow and freezing conditions, it could slow them down, but that should not stop them, yeah.
And just my comment is, in conversations that I've had around this, and again, just conversations with various people, it's my understanding, and it's only my understanding, is that we've got, to date, there's fiber, there's pipe in the ground across all systems needed. There's fiber in the ground to all points needed. It's the rest that has to be done in terms, I guess, just broad strokes, connections and what have you it started out with water and sewer, as we all know, and then the next vision was to, blow it up and, not blow it up, but blow it out and for rest of city services, so. Am I right in those broad comments?
Absolutely, so there is conduit in the ground, and then within that conduit, there are the fiber lines, and they are currently ran to all the locations that we had discussed kind of in the contract. Where we are at now is the maintenance and use contract, this IRU, that's the main discussion point, because we need that before we can physically turn on the network. That was one of the agreements, or one of the comments within discussions, is we needed that agreement prior to firing up the network fully, so Right now, we do have conduit and fiber to all the locations. They're spliced in the various locations. We just need to
100
run
volts
them.
are all spliced?
That's what has been communicated, yep.
So then, just staying with my comment, I guess, which may lead to a question, so would one be safe to assume going forward that we've got pipe in the ground, we've got fiber in the ground, trying to work through the rest of this piece with the current, provider, Mr. Mullen, I guess. So that's gotta get, resolved, but, regardless of how that ends up, good or bad, there's no downside to what's been done in terms of pipe and fiber in the ground. It's who's gonna be working with it.
Yep, absolutely.
Fair assessment?
Yep, definitely.
Thank you.
We're good? Move this on then.
I'll move it.
Moved by Mayor Brown, second by Councilor McCarthy. Okay, thank you. Go down to number C there, please, the annual sewer maintenance, maintenance.
Thank you, Chair. Here is our annual sewer main maintenance request for quotations. The purpose of this report here today is to inform committee and move forward to council the results of the annual sewer main maintenance request for quotations. Our current recommendation is that committee moves forward to council the approval of the award of the annual sewer main maintenance to Island Hydrovac Services in the amount of $48,750 plus applicable taxes. A little bit of the report details here. The annual sewer main maintenance RFQ request for quotations closed on October 7th, 2025 at 2 p.m. There was a public opening that occurred immediately following the RFQ closing. The city had received 3 bids. The submissions are as follows. Island Hydrovac Services, $48,750. GFL Environmental Services, $186,535.54. And Birch Hill Construction, $79,470, all plus applicable taxes. So Island Hydrovac Services being the low bid, we are recommending that we move forward with them. They have done it in previous years, and we've had very satisfactory results in work with them.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions? Move it again, Mayor Brown. Councilor McAleer, second this one. Thank you.
Councilor Drawn, before you go to the next report there,
Mm-hmm.
as an oversight on my part, I'm in a conflict of interest in this next tender in one of the companies who are bidding on the tender.
Okay.
The ownership of the area.
Sure. So
Is that enough of my explanation, or do you?
that's enough for me.
That's
You
good.
you declare conflict, that's great.
On the last one.
And we're at that one now.
On the back
So
to
just
the,
ask
I'll
it.
go back and just get back to business as usual.
Thank you. So for the record, Councilor Matern's taking a conflict of interest in this last item on the agenda, so can you start with that one, Joshua, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So the report here is installation of fine bubble aeration materials. We sent out a request for quotations. The purpose of this report today is to inform committee and move forward to council the results of the installation of fine bubble aeration materials, RFQ. Our current recommendation is we move forward to council. The approval of the award of the installation of fine bubble aeration materials to Precision Mechanical in the amount of $97,000 plus applicable tax. The report details here are the installation of fine bubble aeration materials. The request for quotations closed October 14th, 2025 at 2 p.m. Public opening occurred immediately following the RFQ closing, and the city had received 2 submissions as follows. Filtrum for $414,400 and Precision Mechanical for $97,000. both plus applicable taxes. Based on a review of the submissions and being low bid, we are recommending we move forward with Precision Mechanical. They submitted the low bid, and we're looking to move them forward.
Thank you, Josh. Any questions?
I do, Mr. Chair. Just on page 11, where the tenders come in. Quite a substantial difference between the two of them. 414 to 97.
Doesn't seem to be uncommon in the tendering world from,
And, Mr. Chair, if I could just go back to our last meeting on page 2. So Josh, what did we aeration materials, so will we provide these aeration materials to the successful bidder, or is this two different systems?
So through the chair to Mayor Brown, absolutely, that's a tremendous question. So we had just awarded a
Bubble aeration materials.
materials tender, and this is the installation tender. So we had gone out and purchased them, so we will provide those materials to this.
To the
To
successful
this,
bidder.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, 1 + 1 = 2.
And I guess to answer the question as well on just the difference in pricing, the engineer's estimate was about $150,000, so that first price, Precision Mechanical, is pretty close. It's definitely a lot closer than the Filtrum submission, so it's within the realm of reason.
Thank you. I move it.
Moved by Mayor Brown, second by Councilor McAleer. Okay, just wait till Justin comes back.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now we're into introduction of new business.
Mr. Chair, I just got an email from Stratford about their system. I'm gonna forward it on to you,
Okay.
members of the committee, standing committee, so that you can just take a look at not just one place, but other municipalities that are getting into the fiber network and are taking it on their own. I'm not saying that's the reason for the value for money audit, it's just to say that other jurisdictions out there in the country are taking this on. And I have to say that, you know, we have our CAO here in the meeting, present at this meeting, but his background in technology through police services, I'm sure could be a help going forward on this file.
Great, thank you for that.
I don't have enough word.
Yeah. On the weekends.
But thank you.
Okay, no problem. Pass it on to Cindy.
Yeah.
That's great. Anything else, new business? No questions? That's good. So we're down to 8 for adjournment.
Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes.